Okay, welcome everybody to today's webinar on how to be fearless and build your dream practice. The 3 steps to create a reliable income with realistic work-life balance. Okay, and let's get these going. Make sure I can do all this. There we go. So I'm going to show you how to build a practice that you love and shift out of that mindset of confusion, fear, and uncertainty of private practice to a feeling of safety and realistic work-life balance for a sustainable practice. And I really want to emphasize realistic. We see all too often on social media of this 4-hour work week and Tim Ferriss and all his magic and all of that, which is great and rock star, and I am a huge fan of it, but I also want to be super honest with you guys today and very, very realistic of what it takes to have a sustainable practice. And make sure you stick with me to the very end as we go through all of today's awesome, yummy, goodies and everything, because I'm opening up the Fearless Practitioners Boss Club, and I've got some awesome giveaways. One of you guys is going to walk away with a free course to how to build your dream practice, and every one of you guys that stick around to the very, very, very end is going to get an awesome new handout that I have never sent out before. So stick around because we are going to have some fun. And if you haven't downloaded the workbook, make sure you do, and it will be put into the chat box here. And if you haven't filled out the paperwork, no worries, not a big deal, but please take some time later on today or this weekend and answer page number 1 of what does your dream practice, dream life really look like? And what are some of the fears of having a practice right now? There is no good, bad, right, wrong, and we will all get through it. And take this opportunity to make a ton of notes. And before we jump into today's webinar, I want to double check that you are in the right place. So you're in the right place if you have thought about a practice, but you worry about how you will support yourself financially. You're also in the right place if you're wondering how you will get and keep clients so you have a steady income. And you're in the right place if you're looking to follow your dreams and looking for that push to start, but also the support that you need to fly and create the practice of your dreams. Well, if I haven't met you, hello! My name is Adrien Paczosa, and I'm a registered dietitian and certified eating disorder specialist. And my private practice here in Austin, Texas is I Live Well Nutrition. And the subset is Fearless Practitioners. And this is where I teach you guys how to build and sustain a private practice. And if you haven't, please come and hang out with me on social media. I love social media. Come say hi. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. There is awesome interviews and great takeaways, all this great stuff to help you feel motivated and really take your practice to the next level. Before we jump into today, make sure that you have turned off all of your social media, that you aren't distracted. All too often we go to lectures and webinars, and I will be the same person that I am always on my phone, taking notes, all of those types of things. But make sure that you have put everything into airplane mode, and that you are ready to concentrate. Okay, I want you to take a deep breath and relax. And imagine what it would feel like if you said yes to having a practice that felt safe, that felt secure, just like a corporate job. So my number 1 goal for this class today is to teach you the basic steps on how to build a reliable practice that is sustainable, that you can have the flexibility, the freedom of how you work, who you work with, how you call the shots, by the 3 steps we're going to go over, by taking action, networking with clients, getting and staying motivated to move forward. And because I love you guys so much, at the very end, I actually am throwing in a bonus step to talk about that it is not even in any of the steps. So stay tuned. Let's jump in to step number 1. So make sure you got that worksheet handy. So step number 1, we're going to talk about daily activities. So in this section, we're going to chat about all the things that really help you day to day. Yet before we get into those, we got to talk about pitfalls. And pitfalls are really what tie us up and get us away from everything. Oh, sugar pops, those pitfalls. They are the things that take us far, far away from the stuff that we are doing daily. And we all have things that pull us away. So from emails that feel like we've got to answer those emails in 24 hours. We've all got clients to see and our schedules are packed. We all are busy. And I don't really enjoy the word busy, but we all feel that. But what are you doing every single day to work on your practice, not in your practice? Working in your practice is seeing the clients, doing the things, doing the charting. And so what we're going to look at in step number 1 is talking about what you need to be doing every single day to work on your practice. So in your workbook, I want you all to think about things that pull you away from that and that are your pitfalls. Just because if we don't think about what pulls us away, we sometimes get blindsided of like, oh, where did this day go? So for me, holy bananas, it's those stinking emails. I can't even tell you guys, like, seriously, how many times I will check my emails. Like, in between patients, I'm checking them, and maybe before I chart, I'll check my emails. Maybe even, seriously, in the middle of charting, I will check my emails, just because it's something on my mind. And what I've noticed is that pulls me away, pulls my concentration away, it pulls my thought process away. It is such a time suck, and it causes me to work inefficiently all day long, every day. The other one of my personal pitfalls, which is so sad to say, is social media, because I love it so stinking much. And so I actually have to make sure that I am really mindful of my pitfalls. So take a little bit of time right now and think about some of the things that pull you away from what you need to be doing every single day to work on your practice. So on your worksheet in step number 1, I want you to write, step number 1 is take action daily, and get used to hearing it over and over and over, because I say it over and over and over. This truly is my mantra in life and in my practice. We constantly get bombarded with stuff to learn or keep researching. But what this mantra actually means to me is it means to work like a boss. And we all have to see clients on a regular basis, but it is the stuff that you need to be tackling every single day that will move your practice forward. It's that one thing that will just take your practice to the next level. And not saying that there isn't room to read those articles, to do the research and continue to learn. And also, what is that one thing that is going to make a difference in your practice? And it's okay if you don't know every single day what that one thing is. It's what we cover with my coaching clients. It's what we cover in the boss clubs. But I want you to think in the way of a boss. Every single day, ask yourself, how am I working on my practice? And what is the one thing I can do every single day to move it forward? And if you need some ideas, what has really helped me and shook me and also has taken me the longest to really build that sustainable practice is schedule. and getting ridiculously strict with my schedule. This has helped me to take my practice to a whole new level. So time blocking. And so I have certain times that I see clients, and I have certain times that I do admin stuff. So if you've ever hung out with me on social media, you know Wednesdays is a marketing day. And it also helps me to get really clear on when I need to be working on my practice and when I need to be working in it. So I'm going to share with you guys my calendar, and I took out all the HIPAA stuff so you can kind of see. And you can see when I see patients, because I still see patients and I love them dearly. And I even left in some of my personal stuff of when I'm getting my hair cut. And it's Marketing Wednesday. And then I've got some time block stuff when I'm working on Fearless Practitioner stuff, when I'm working with coaching clients, when I'm working on the podcast, and when I'm also doing some volunteer work. So I wanted to show you what this actually really looks like in real life. And it's not perfect, and it's a work in progress, and it also has helped me to move my practice forward. The other thing, and time blocking and getting really strict with your schedule, is scheduling you time. And if that's morning routine, if that's making sure that you are always done by a certain time, whatever that is, making sure that you have that. And also, I wanted you to think about this, the reality of working. So you're starting a practice, you're starting a company, and it's not going to be a 4-hour work week. I hate to break it to you. In the beginning, you're going to have to work. Excuse me, I got real passionate about that one. You will probably have to work some evenings. You're probably going to have to work some weekends. And you're probably going to have to be doing some stuff and not get paid for it. And that is the honest truth. And I will always be honest with you guys, and I will always tell you guys the truth. That is where it will be like in the beginning. And even when you're working weekends and late nights and not getting paid for certain things because you just have to get it done, making sure you schedule out that me time. We tell our patients to take care of themselves, to really make that space. Also making that space for you. And it doesn't have to be 5 hours at the spa. It might be, 8 minutes of meditation. It might be, I'm just going to make sure that I have some space to journal. Finding that realistic work-life balance. And that's why I left in those days of when I volunteer, when I'm getting my hair cut. So making sure that you are having that work-life realistic balance. The other part of time blocking is scheduling those professional conferences. So I want you to think about 2 to 3 conferences, professional development that you will go to this year. Put them in your calendar right now. Make that commitment. Investing in yourself is some of the hardest stuff, especially for new entrepreneurs, and the ones that do, mark my word on this, are the ones that make it. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this over and over and over. And it's the ones that are making those investments, that see the value in it, and are showing up. So professional developments, webinars. So high five to y'all. You made it to today's webinar. Networking with other professionals. Making space and time to invest in you. So step number 1 is taking action every day. Let's jump on to step number 2 in building your sustainable dream practice. And this is laying the groundwork. And you guys, like seriously, I am so freaking hot to talk about this. Like this is like lights me up, because like put little stars next to step number 2, hearts, whatever. But this is the stuff that builds the base of your practice. Are you ready for it? So step number 2 is all about networking. Oh my God, it is just amazing. And I'm super hot for it right now. And there's 2 types of networking. There's the in-person and online. And online, there's newsletters, blogs, commenting on blogs, sharing, all of it, scheduling Skype times that people you've met. And we're not going to talk about this today. And there's millions of experts out there. Kathy, who is the most amazing person there is to walk the face of the earth about blogging and newsletters. She has great classes out there. And I'll definitely share that with y'all. But today I really want to focus about in person on how to build that base of a sustainable practice that you can feel safe and secure in. So we're going to talk about it. But before we even do that, I got to talk about organization. Oh, give me a label maker and give me a Sharpie and give me a glass of wine and whew, I am in heaven, as any good type A dietitian would be. So the number one to build a sustainable practice is marketing, but we have to keep it organized. So as you meet all of these people, as you get to know all these people all over the country in your area, how are you going to remember them? Because there's absolutely no way I can remember everybody I meet. And we want to make sure we're collecting their names, their addresses, their email addresses, their contact information. What did you talk about? What do they do? How can you serve them? What are they looking for? All of those types of things. And I've tried a gazoodle of things out there, from customer management, CRM tools, to programs and all that. And I keep coming back to my Excel spreadsheet. And it has worked magical unicorns for me every single time. And it helps me to stay organized and know who I've talked to, what I've talked about, and when I need to see them and follow up with them. So today I want you guys to think about, when was the last time you met somebody in your area? If you haven't met anybody in a local area or an office, what are you waiting for? It's time. I invite you to do it right now. So schedule. You can actually schedule a 10 to 15 minute with a doctor's office, an office manager, all of those things. And I caution you, when you do not, please do not walk in there asking, oh, how can they refer to you? All of that. No. It is, how can you be that resource? How can you support them? How can you be that resource for them in the community? So I want you to think about, when you walk into that office and you're building that relationship, how could you possibly connect them with somebody that they could help them? What is their biggest struggle? What is their biggest pain point? And how can you fix that for them? It is all about building relationships. Get to know who is in your area and how to really be of service to them. Get to know them on a personal level too. So I know that some of the practitioners in the area that we work with, I know if they've got kids, I know when their kids' birthdays are. I know, oh, I'm meeting somebody for lunch tomorrow and she plays tennis, and so I want to ask about her last tennis match. So getting to know somebody on a personal level helps you to connect on a deeper level so that you can know, like, and trust. That is what builds up great referrals. And it allows you as a practitioner also to get to know them even better. So as you're making these appointments, really keep in mind, what is their struggle and how can you support them? Be a support. And also show appreciation. Once you start getting all those people referring to you, make sure that you let them know how awesome they are and that you really appreciate them. And the best way is that amazing, powerful thank you note. So when was the last time that you got a handwritten piece of mail? Like, I seriously can remember the last one I got. It was from one of my dear friends, and she sent me a postcard every time she travels. She loves to send postcards to people. And I really remember it. Like, it's the cutest little thing. And think of how easy it is to write a thank you card, and it adds in so much value. You stand out. It is personal, and it is a connection and memorable, and it builds that know, like, and trust factor that is irreplaceable from anything. And as we talk about thank you cards, we got to talk about print material. I got a lot of thoughts on print material. So, because I really want you not to spend money frivolously. It's your money, it's your hard-earned money and time and all those great things. And so please think through these couple of things when purchasing print material. So first, think about when you get something in the mail. So if somebody's going to send me a flyer, what do I usually do with it? Sadly, I throw it away, but that's just me. And I've gotten better. I might hold on to it because I might send it to a patient, but I just don't want that clutter. So really think about the purpose and how that print material will be used. So that's number 2. What's the purpose of your print material? Can this information be getting from your website? And if it can, it doesn't need to go on a piece of paper that you're paying for. You already paid for your website. Don't pay for paper. How is this piece of paper that you are going to disseminate locally going to be different? And number 3, how is this print material going to cause a referral? This one is big. Make a star by it. I want that piece of paper to do some work for me. I invested money in it, and it better work. So I had this one coaching client that she was is a therapist, and made this little tear pad, a prescription pad for the physician, and gave it to the physician, and, told them and educated them on, if somebody's ever struggling with depression or anxiety, write them a prescription to come and see me. They don't technically need a prescription, but it was just a great print material to cause a referral, to cause a phone call. Magical unicorns. I'm not saying it was 100% every time this piece of paper went out, but it was causing a referral. So I encourage you to think, how is this going to cause a referral? And then also to think outside the box. So we think of these ideas, think of your industry, think of things in your area outside the box. And we talked about going to different networking events or professional development trade shows, but think about an open house. We have these local gyms in our area that do member appreciation days. Well, why can't I do that for referral appreciation? Or hosting a workshop in your community. What's something that would be really beneficial to your local community? Volunteering for charities as your practice. I do this all the time. I'll give lectures sponsored by I Live Well Nutrition. I'll go did a volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club as I Live Well Nutrition. So thinking of things on how to give back as your practice is a definitely outside the box thing. Providing an information session for your community is a wonderful way to connect on a deeper level. So, true secret of effective networking is connection, consistency, and follow-up. Holy bananas. This is my super secret weapon of how to build that sustainable practice is the follow-up. All too often, people forget about it. You can connect and they might be consistent, but that follow-up gets lost every single time. So connection, great. You're showing up, you're doing the things, you're doing all of that. Consistent might be a little hard. So if there's a local networking meeting every Wednesday, go, be there. Commit for 6 months, be there every single week or every single month, whatever it is, show up, be consistent. The follow-up, everybody I meet, I want to follow up. So after any conference I go to, after any meeting I go to, I also put in my calendar and time block time to follow up, to write my thank you notes, to send that email, whatever it might be, is follow up. And that was step number 2. So let's move on to step number 3. So the tactics that help to grow your, the tactics that help sustain and grow your practice for the long term. And I want to share with you guys my personal experience of this step because it was freaking life-changing. So when I feel bogged down and trapped and really, really lonely and overwhelmed in my practice, and the sparkly, shiny newness of the practice and being my boss had worn off, and the reality of having to do everything was setting in, I went like crazy in search of how to fix this. I needed a jolt to get me out of my head to the next level and really to that place of safety and security that I was just after. I didn't realize it then, But this is something we all feel in our practice. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was just this losing my marbles and I wasn't cut out for private practice. But yet each time we go through growth, we go through expansion, we have this dip in confidence. And that is so stinking normal. Each time I get bogged down and I'm feeling lonely, this is now a reminder for me to look outside of myself for perspective, insight, before I can even start to level up. So step number 3 in your workbook is how to get and stay motivated to move forward. So this first time I ever felt like absolutely holy bananas, what am I doing? I'm not cut out for private practice. I can't do all of this. I went in searching for friends, for connection, just to see if I was the only one who could understand how I felt. And it felt simple enough, but soon enough, that search led me to an entire life-changing experience that connected me with people, changed my perspective, and shifted my mindset, and seriously changed my practice forever. This simple enough task of asking for help led me to so much more that I could even begin to imagine. I went from one side of just, oh my gosh, how in the world am I going to have a practice? I'm not cut out for this, to finding my support team and building it up. And this seriously was one of the biggest investments I have ever made in myself. And I invested in myself by joining a mastermind and accountability group that was freaking life-changing. The year after this investment, I saw so much growth in my practice and in myself. It was amazing. I had the support and guidance that makes those leaps, was pushed to take a chance. And I started to believe in myself again. And I needed that push. I needed that support to really realize that I was in the right place, that I knew what I was doing, and that I could really have a safe and secure practice. So what my group did for me was rude. Oh my gosh, it was huge. I got the biggest dosage of accountability that helped me to show up in my practice, but also in my life. I got insight in my goals and how to run my practice, being able to show up and be shown my strengths, be shown my weaknesses, but then also to be shown how to have a plan. And the power of accountability and showing up with your peers and community, it's freaking life-changing. So also the group helped me to see what I was stuck and pushed me to ask for help. And you guys, I have so many secret weapons, but asking for help, that was so freaking hard. And I don't know if you guys are like me, which I imagine you are. I thought I could do it all. I thought I was Superwoman. I had my cape and everything. I got this. I can blog, even though I'm dyslexic. Oh, I can do this, even though I don't know how to do that. I thought I could figure it out. I thought, if I could do the Krebs cycle, I could do anything. No. I made a hot mess out of a lot of stuff. And so asking for help was huge. So my group kind of forced me to ask for help. And so how I get everything done, how do I have podcasts, how do I have a practice, how do I start to coach and do webinars and all of this stuff is because I have help. I have amazing people like Kathy that are behind the scenes with all of this that help me to put it together and not fall down 24/7. I have people that help me in my office. I have help. And that was one of the most humbling and liberating and most of all life-changing experiences that allowed me to have a sustainable and safe practice. And I'm totally with you. Making that first investment was so hard because I was like, I don't have the money. How am I supposed to do this? I have no clue. And holy bananas, the return was life-changing. But more importantly, the community helps me to discover what I needed and what I needed to move forward on. Connection, So connection to all of those things was huge. Having that accountability, going through things, going to the next phase, allow me to connect to a community that was just so magical and bigger than I could ever imagine. So I didn't feel alone anymore. And that's one of the things that I struggled so much in my private practice. And loneliness is the biggest killer for private practice. Loneliness affects your private practice by it keeps you pigeonholed on how you view your practice and how you work with clients. By having others around you, having a community, it allows you to shift your perspective, even if it's a 2% shift in your perspective on how you see your practice and how you work with clients. It shifts how you grow. It kind of keeps you moving. Excuse me. Loneliness keeps you in the same place of how you work and how you see clients. Being part of a community shifts your mind, shifts your connection, and shifts your growth potential. Doesn't that sound awesome? Oh, it was life-changing. Okay, now on to the bonus. I love it. So as I was putting together all of these things, I had to think about what was the number one strategy that helped me build a sustainable practice. You guys ready for this? So my biggest growth happened when I started to track everything, which came from my accountability and coaching group. So this opened up my eyes and helped me to build a sustainable practice with growth and predictability. I wasn't walking around blind anymore. So if you can measure it, you can't. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So tracking my numbers, but even before that, like understanding my numbers helped me to build a sustainable growth and predictable income so I felt secure. So a lot of times I get asked, well, what the heck do I track? And it comes down to, it really depends on where you are in your practice. So if somebody is first starting out in their practice, what they need to be tracking is very different than what somebody has been doing if they've been in practice for a very long time. And it's called your key performance indicators, or KPIs, which sounds so sexy, I know. But it's just different numbers of, okay, from how many patients am I seeing? What's the revenue? What's the profits? What's the time I'm spending? All of those things. What are my marketing things? So it's based off of the goals you set for your practice, and also how you define success and how you define sustainability. So I have to share, this was actually from one of my coaching clients recently, and we were talking about, oh, how's it going? How are things? And she was absolutely shocked that she has had the most growth in our 3 months of working together than she's had in 5 years of her practice, just by us starting to talk about her numbers. And I made her start looking at them and tracking at them, and we've checked in with them every single month. And she said with support, accountability, and tracking is what caused growth. Isn't that awesome? Well, let's wrap up through all of the different steps. So step number 1 in your workbook, make sure you write these out, is take action every single day. And I'm a huge fan of time blocking, if it's from marketing to self-care to going to conferences, whatever it might be, take action every single day. Step number 2 is marketing. Be authentic, be consistent, and what is the last one? Follow up! Woohoo! Make sure that you are following up and make sure that you are writing those notes. And step number 3, that connection, that community, and accountability from your peers will build that base and allow you to feel safe and secure to do the work. And step number 4, our bonus lesson, is track everything, every single number that's coming in. So in your workbook, make sure that on that last page that you set aside some time to really write out your take action daily steps. Whatever you are going to do, make sure that you take some time to do that. And, okay, stick with me because we're getting close. We're almost there. We're halfway through, a little bit more. But before we get to the very end, we're going to do a drawing for one of you magical unicorns to win a free course to the How to Build Your Dream Practice. And every one of you is going to get a super brand spanking new free handout. But before we get into that, you might be thinking, how do I move forward today with everything that we've been talking about? And I know the first step is always the hardest. And you have a choice. You can stay exactly the way you've been doing it, currently working, struggling, thinking you got to do everything, got your magic wand and your unicorn and cape on, you can do it. And you feel frustrated and overwhelmed, and you might just give up and eventually have to get a job. And I don't want that for you. So if you're ready, and I promise it will be freaking amazing. If you're ready, I want to invite you guys today to become part of the Fearless Practitioners Boss Club. It's the biggest benefit for me and what I learned in my accountability group. I had to give back, and I had to create this because it seriously changed my life. And just, every time I think about it, it almost brings tears to my heart because it was just so life-changing. The Fearless Practitioners Boss Club is the only coaching accountability program that helps practitioners overcome the worries, the fears, the confusions by offering guidance, coaching, accountability, and ways to take action to achieve their goals of having a dream practice that builds a sustainable practice and income with work-life balance. We all have tons of stuff to get done every single day in our life. But with our live weekly accountability phone calls in your small groups, we go through your goals. We track everything. We make sure you are staying on top of everything. We have quarterly goals that are stuck to your monthly and yearly goals. So it's not just busy work. And that is one of the things that I feel all too often practitioners get stuck in, is those time traps, those pitfalls. So the monthly mastermind group is actual training with a hot seat, and it's Tuesday evenings, and we go through and problem solve together as a community. And we also have a fabulous private Facebook group that is just for boss clubs, and once a year we have intensive workshops that will change your life. So there's so much inside the club that is just going to blow your mind. So there are three courses that you get, along with the private Facebook community, our weekly live accountability calls, mastermind and hot seat, and all of that, which I don't want to scare you with that number, because it's so important to me that this actually works. So for $50 a month, you get all of this. You stay motivated with me as your coach, the peers of other practitioners in your private Facebook, keep you on track with your plans, with our live accountability calls, move forward to take action in our monthly mastermind and hot seat coaching session, make plans to grow in our quarterly goal setting sessions, and boost your professional development with our annual VIP intensive. If you're looking for coaching and supervision, this is the cost of just a fifth of it. So usually for coaching and supervision, it can be anywhere from $250 to $300. And just for $50 a month, you get coaching. Holy bananas. Because I really do believe in this. It was so freaking life-changing for me. I had to do this because I am so passionate about it. And because I love you guys so much, for the first month, because I don't want money to be a barrier, I don't want you to worry about money, I want you to try it out for $1, because it has been so life-changing for me, and I know exactly where you were and worried about spending money. And for $1 for your first month, you can definitely jump in and make a life-changing experience. And just for $50 a month after that, that's nothing. Most of our clients are $100 a session. Dudes, oh my gosh, yeah. So for one client, you can pay for Boss Club. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So just head over to fearlesspractitioners.com/go to start today. So your first month is only a freaking $1. I know. And because I love you so much, at the end, if you do decide to join the Boss Club, the private practice paperwork is just $50, and all you have to do at the end of when you sign up for the Boss Club, it'll be right there. So it's super easy. I hope you join the club. And I want you guys to know I'm not a magical unicorn. I might love glitter and I love sparkles and it's amazing. We all have 24 hours in a day, even Beyonce. I don't have all this access to amazing technology and resources and experts, but I have a proven roadmap. I've done this. I've followed my passion. I truly believe in you guys, and I want you to have that dream practice. I truly believe there needs to be more practitioners in private practice, and I want you to have a sustainable practice. That is so important to me, and oh my gosh, you guys totally have this. I think you're awesome. I really, truly believe you can do this. And if it's not for you, after your first month, dude, 100%. Guaranteed after that first month, no feelings hurt. I promise, money back guaranteed for that first month. So come and join me and your other practitioners in the Boss Club. Head over to fearlesspractitioners.com/go, and I hope to hang out with you. Well, let's wrap up one more time on all the steps that we learned today, and then we'll jump into questions. So the first one, step number 1, take action every day. From time block, do those things that need to get done first, working on your practice, not in your practice. Step number 2, market. Be authentic, be consistent, and follow up. Step number 3, get and stay motivated by finding your community, accountability, and peers so you are not lonely. Loneliness is that trap for your practice. And your bonus lesson is track everything. Get to know everything, all the numbers that are going in and out of your practice. So we are going to do some questions and giveaways. So I want to just check in and see if you guys had any questions, or should we do the giveaway first? I think it might be,
Adrien, it's Kathy.
Oh, hey, Kathy.
So you have that extra special gift for everybody that's here live on the call.
Oh, that's right. So everybody on the call, you guys get a special magical gift. So, I'm so glad. Thank you, Kathy. I totally forgot about that. So you guys, I've never given you guys this at all before. And so this is an example of my marketing Excel spreadsheet. And it goes through, it's what I've used for years, and it has helped me. So it's in the chat box. And so please go and download this. It is awesome. And there's different ways. So if you just go to fearlesspractitioners.com/gift, you'll be able to download it as well. It is so helpful, and it actually has little programs in on how to follow up. So it actually has all of that put in there for you. So I've never shared it. I can't wait to see how it goes. And are we ready for the drawing, Kathy? Oops. I think we might.
I was muted, sorry. So I did a draw from the names that were here, and the one that I picked out is Jill Seshi.
Congratulations, Jill! Oh, congratulations! So we will definitely be emailing you the link for your free $250 entry for free to the How to Build Your Dream Practice. So thank you so much. And so do we have any questions, Kathy?
Yes, there are questions here too. I'm just putting a link there to show Jill what she won, the Dream Practice course. And let me just grab the questions that I've got off the chat here.
Awesome.
All right, so the first question that we have, I'm just trying to move around because I've got some in chat, some in questions. So hold on a second here. The first one that I have here is from Tammy. How do I begin to start using insurance? And is this something you cover in the Boss Club?
Tammy, great question. Oh my gosh, such a great question. And actually, if you join the Boss Club, one of the free things that you get is decoding insurance. So you will get access for free to that course. And that is something we can definitely chat about in the Boss Club and how to be a part of it. And it is definitely one of the things that I am very passionate about for practitioners, and I want to make sure to walk you through it because it can be a little bit sticky. So yes, we will definitely talk about that.
All right, and the next question is from Sharon. She's wondering, what is hot seat coaching?
Good question, Sharon. So Sharon, hot seat coaching. So right before our monthly call in the Boss Club, we'll do some training, but I'm gonna reach out to everybody in the Boss Club to see if there's any burning question that is just lighting you on fire. And we're gonna go through it as a team, as a community. So it's not necessarily a shame on you, I can't believe you got it wrong, but more of a problem solving together. I always tell people I may not have all the answers. I've done a lot, but the more minds we get together, you're in the hot seat and you're opening yourself up to support from the community. So it feels kind of hot because you get kind of nervous and excited, but I promise it's not that bad.
Okay, and we have another one here. It is from Janine. She wants to know if she wants to pay for the full year of the Boss Club to save money. How does the $1 deal work then?
Oh, great question, Jill. Janine, sorry. Janine, so if you want to pay for the full year, which is the $495. If you want to do that, you will still get that first month's free. So just send us an email and we'll give you the coupon code for the $50 off your first month. So if that's something that you're interested in, please, please, please reach out and we'll definitely be able to do that for you as well.
Okay. And I've got another question here from Linda. I want to call and make an appointment with a physician. But to set it up, who should I be talking to in the office first?
Good question, Linda. So as you guys are doing these marketing, and it feels really scary to call the physician's office, make sure that when you do call, let them know who you are and why you're calling. And you might want to talk to the office manager. And if you do call and speak with the office manager, let them know that you would like to schedule a 10 to 15 minute call with the physician to discuss how you can best support them. I get this all the time in my office, and it's so normal. It is not an odd question to get asked. So physicians are used to this. Other practitioners are used to this. So please don't feel that this is weird.
Okay, and then I have another one here. It is from Raylene. What kind of training do you do on the monthly calls?
Ooh, great question, Raylene. Oh, I love that one. So it'll be a combination of a couple of different things. So it's going to be different. So I will always kind of do a poll of what's going on with everybody in the Boss Club of what's your top two biggest struggles this month. And so it might be a training off of that. But then also it'll be things that are really going to help to build that sustainable long-term growth in a practice. So it'll be the ins and outs of marketing. It'll be the ins and outs of scaling. It'll be the ins and outs of what is actually needed to grow a sustainable practice. It'll be problem solving. It will be just the foundation. And I just get so excited, and it's my favorite stuff to talk about, and so much can be done, and I can't wait for you guys to be a part of it.
Perfect. And the last one that's here is from Paula. How did tracking the numbers make such a difference, and why did that change things for you? And how do you also know what numbers you're supposed to track?
Oh, Paula, I love it. That's a great question. So how tracking all the numbers made such a difference for me? Whew, holy bananas. So first, it showed me what I didn't know. So I kind of did this on a whim, and I was like, oh, I think it's working, but why do I still feel like I'm spinning my wheel? Why do I still feel like I have no idea what's going on? So it allowed me to understand my practice. It allowed me to understand where I wasn't doing a great job. And so was I really profitable? Was I really able to afford my life? Was I able to pay my personal bills? Was I able to really do it all? And so that was kind of the aha moment, because it kind of, in the beginning, it felt like I was kept chasing my tail, chasing the 8 ball, whatever you want to chase. It just wasn't working. And so by tracking everything, I knew exactly how many patients I needed to be seeing a week, how many, what was my spending on, what was the return on investment on things. So it was absolutely amazing. And so in the beginning, I encourage people to think about, well, before even looking at tracking, looking at what it costs to be you. So what is your personal expenses and what is your professional expenses of running your practice? Before you can even set some numbers, we got to know what it costs to be you. These are great questions, you guys. Any other ones, Kathy? Are we good?
That was the last question that I have.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, guys, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. This has been so much fun hanging out with you guys. I am absolutely excited to see where you go, for you to take the next step. And don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if you are wanting to be a part of the Boss Club, head over to fearlesspractitioners.com/go and be a part of all of this so that we can help you build that sustainable dream practice. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to see where you go and what you create, because you guys are going to be fabulous. Thank you again, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Make great decisions, and I will see you guys later. Bye, guys.